Next morning and went to Pancakes by the Bay for breakfast and coffee. Got their usual booth by the window. Penelope took their order. Good morning, Mike and Elena. So nice to see you. Oh, hi, Penelope. Yeah, it's so nice to be back in the realm where Reality Bites 2 takes place. I miss San Francisco so much. How can I help you? Give me the Bayside Griddle cakes and a cup of mild morning coffee. And for you, Mike, give me the Paradise pancakes and a cup of mild morning coffee. Coming right up. It's so nice to look out the window here at Pancakes in the Bay and observe happy San Francisco people, Franciscans. It sure is. I miss that. It's fun to observe these people. We have to start writing our script based on observations. Based on these people. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting. I thought that what we could do is write the script and put on a performance right here in the restaurant. The performance will be untitled so as to give them no indication as to what it's about. After the performance, we can tell the people that it was based on their interactions. That'd be wonderful. Do you want to walk around town? It's beautiful out. Sure. Let's have some fun. Michael and Elena. Went for a walk around San Francisco and had a wonderful morning. Michael and Elena got up the next morning and went to Pancakes by the Bay for breakfast and coffee. Penelope took their order. How can I help you? Give me the Bayside crepes and a cup of mountain morning coffee. And for you, Elena, give me the Bayside pancakes and a cup of mountain morning coffee. Coming right up. We have to start writing our script based on our observations of passersby. Do you have any ideas yet? I think the Corvette woman should be in the script. Yeah, there are some intriguing observations to be observed relating to her, including the package she keeps passing back and forth to other people. I happened to catch a glimpse of something very intriguing. What else? I saw a peculiar sight. If you look into a rearview mirror, you can see some kind of supernatural being from the netherworld. This being cannot be seen outside the mirror, where it happens to be reflected into the mirror, but can be seen in the mirror. The Corvette woman also gives us being packages. Wow, that is intriguing. Do you want to go back to my condominium to practice more William Shakespeare dialogue? Sure. Mike and Lillian to practice more William Shakespeare dialogue. Mike and Elena got up the next morning, went to Pancakes by the Bay for breakfast and coffee. They got their usual booth by the window. Penelope took over. How can I help you? Give me the Bayside pancakes and a cup of Mountain Morning coffee. And for you, Elena, give me the Bayside crepes and a cup of Mountain Morning coffee. Covering it up. Look out the window. Wonder what's going on out there. They look out the window and see the Corvette woman staring intensely at the supernatural being in her rearview mirror. The supernatural being stares back at her, at Penelope, with a hideous glow of malevolence in her eyes and wanders off into another realm. Penelope then gets out of the car and walks up to another woman on the sidewalk and hands her a package. The woman then physically passes through a mirror on the sidewalk where she intermingles with people and objects that are reflected by the mirror. She has become a part of the mirror's reflections. That's fascinating. That woman is in the mirror among the reflections of the mirror, but she's outside. She's not outside of the mirror. She's just inside the mirror among the reflections of the mirror. I wonder why she's in there. Images and people reflected by a mirror can trail off and form a quasi-reality, wherein the reality that they are reflecting whereas in the reality that they are reflecting can coalesce with the reflection itself. People could actually physically enter their own reflected realities, wherein they can form new realities and new planes of existence. I wonder why that woman went in there with the package. Maybe to escape this reality, where people are after the package. Yeah, maybe. You want to go back to your condominium and practice more William Shakespeare dialogue? Sure. Mike and Elena went back to Mike's condominium to practice more William Shakespeare dialogue. After finishing performing their William Shakespeare dialogue, Mike and Elena sat on Mike's couch to have beer and talk. Just being with you, Elena, is an exquisite pleasure. I agree. It's what I look forward to most every day. Just looking into your eyes and feeling the essence of your soul Takes me to places of perfection. When I look into your eyes, I know I was meant for you and you were meant for me. I feel the same way. All of a sudden, Mike and Elena are somehow transported to the sidewalk in front of Pancakes by the Bay, where the Corvette woman entered the mirror. Oh, thanks, Anna. I'm glad you like my posters. Thanks, it's really nice. Table in the living room. All of a sudden, he looks into the large mirror on the living room wall and sees not his reflection in the present moment, but his reflection an hour into the future. Is this what you were looking for? Yes, it is. Would you give that back to me? No. What's in it? An object that no one on Earth has ever seen that could transform the future? With that, he vanished. Mike and Elena talked into the evening. They performed some more William Shakespeare dialogue. Mike and Elena got up the next morning and went to Pancakes by the Bay for breakfast and coffee. They got their usual booth by the window. Penelope took their order. How can I help you? I noticed you got a lot of new items on the menu. I'm having a hard time deciding here. There's a lot of new items on the menu, and I want to make my breakfast as delicious as possible. But I'm trying to have a hard time choosing for all these new menus. I mean, you got like crepes, and you've got like strudel, and you've got like all kinds of stuff that looks just so tempting. I mean, all kinds of stuff with whipped cream and syrup and sprinkles and chocolate chips and bananas and like sliced up bananas, carrots, apples. You've got like strawberry desserts, strawberry frappes. You've got like all kinds of stuff, all kinds of tempting things like peach nibblers, peach delight. You've got like strawberry delight. You've got nibblers. You've got chewy stuff. You've got like yeah. You've got like sausages. You've got like you've got strudel. You've got all kinds of delicious shit, and I'm having a hard time deciding. But you know what? Let me see. I think I've made my, even without the new stuff you have on the menu, I'm going to get the good old Bayside griddle cakes. Give me the Bayside griddle cakes and a cup of Mountain Morning coffee. And for you, Lilana, give me the Bayside griddle cakes and a cup of Mountain Morning coffee. Coming right up. Have you been thinking about the murder lately, Elena? No, have you? Not much. It's gone on sale for many months. Maybe we should be thinking about it. I say we let the detectives solve it. I've been thinking about the American buffalo lately and its spiritual connection to the indigenous people of Texas. Oh, yeah, that. How's that coming along? Wonderfully. I found that the American buffalo is an iconic figure that not only gets Texans in touch with their inner selves, but also many American people. Oh, hi, Issa. Thanks for joining me. This is Reality Bites 2. That's excellent. Oh, here comes Penelope with her order. Here you are. Thanks, Penelope. Look out the window. Do you see that? It's the Corvette woman staring at us from inside of her car wearing square sunglasses. Intermittently smiling and then frowning. Thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for the thumbs up. I hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Who am I talking to? Myself. I'm doing a one-man performance of Reality Bites script that I wrote. I'm hoping to get if I ever get somebody to actually act with me and create Heather's Reality Bites 2, then maybe someday I'll be acting with other people. But that hasn't happened yet. So in the meantime, it's a one-man performance. I take on all the characters myself. Yes, I see. Yes, I see it. Do you like the square sunglasses? I love the square sunglasses. I love them because... Oh, thanks, Rick. Thanks for subscribing. And thanks, Isa. Okay. I do like the square sunglasses. I love her square sunglasses. I love them because they are not only square, but they are so huge. So yes, I do love her square sunglasses. Do you love her square sunglasses? Yes. I love her square sunglasses. I love them not because they're huge, but because they're square. I would, however, love them more if they were oval. How much more would you love her square sunglasses if they were oval? Um, I would have to say if her square sunglasses were oval, I would love her square sunglasses 74% more if they were oval. That being said, I think that her square sunglasses are cool. They're not square. They are square in shape, but not square when it comes to coolness. I agree. Do you want to go back to my condominium to practice more William Shakespeare? Sure. Michael and Layla went back to Mike's condominium to practice more William Shakespeare dialogue. Michael and Layla got up the next morning and went for a walk along the ocean near the Golden Gate Bridge. It was sublimely beautiful out with the early June sun highlighting the facial contours of Lelena's ageless beauty. What do you have, wait a minute. What does it say? What do you have one sentence for the world? One sentence for the world, what do you mean? What do I have, if I had to say like one what are you asking me? If I had to say one important sentence of the world, one sentence that would actually tend to harmonize the world, I would just say, lighten up. Okay. It'll be like a two-word phrase. Okay. All right. Okay. Have you thought more about the murder? No. Have you? You? As a matter of fact, I have. Oh, thanks. Oh, thanks. Yeah, that's what I think. I mean, it's like the world just needs to lighten up and just life is short and just Just try to get along with each other. Okay. Um, as a matter of fact, I agree. You have to put yourself in harm's way. You have to put yourself. You have to put yourselves in harm's way. Harm's way. Harm's way is my middle name. Not afraid to be in harm's way. As a matter of fact, I live in a street named Harm's Way. Really? No, I'm just kidding. Seriously, though, why should I stay out of the solving of the murder mystery? Because there's a hidden society of counterparts of each person living in a parallel realm in this area. Each of us has a counterpart, an exact duplicate of ourselves that wants to take over. If they do so, we could be cast off into that realm and they could take over for us here. I doubt that. The man suddenly wait. What? You don't believe her, do you? You don't believe him, do you? You never know. I doubt it. Do you want to go to Pancakes by the Bay? Sure. Mike and Elena went to Pancakes by the Bay for breakfast and coffee. They got their usual booth by the window. Penelope took their order. What'll it be? Give me the Bayside griddle cakes and a cup of hot morning coffee. And for you, Lelena? Give me the Bayside griddle cakes and a cup of hot morning coffee. Coming right up. As Penelope walked off, she looked out the window at a man and a woman who were dressed in black hooded capes, like those worn by people involved in black magic and the occult. They nodded at each other with approving gestures. Did you see that, Lelena? Yeah. I think Penelope may still be a suspect. Penelope came back with the food. Let's just enjoy the food, sure. It's delicious. I agree. Do you want to go back to my condominium, Paris Memorial William Shakespeare? Like, sure. Mike and Elena went back to Mike's condominium at Paris Memorial William Shakespeare. Like, Mike and Elena got up the next morning, went to Pancakes by the Bay for breakfast and coffee. They got the usual booth by the window. Penelope said to her, "What'll it be this morning?" Give me the Bayside griddle cakes and a cup of hot morning coffee. And for you, Elena? Give me the Bayside griddle cakes and a cup of hot morning coffee. Come right up. We have some conflicting evidence now, Elena, about the murder. Yeah, it's conflicting. There there must be a way to reconcile the fact that we saw people in black hooded capes that appeared to be part of some kind of black magic society. With the appearance of the strange man who warned us of a secret society of human counterparts for each of us that is plotting to take control of our reality and cast us off into another realm. Another realm? That could be it. What do you mean? I happen to know that the person who writes Reality Bites 2 is a guy named Meyer. He has a series of science fiction stories that he also writes called Another Realm. Really? If that's the case, he could be writing us to do an episode of Another Realm. My point exactly. Maybe, maybe we could find clues about the murder in that other realm. Yeah, maybe. All of a sudden, they found themselves cast off into another realm for about 2 seconds. And then immediately transported back to Pancakes by the Bay in the same booth where they were. Did you see that? Yeah? We were cast off into another realm for about 2 seconds. Yeah, that was strange. All of a sudden, I saw what appeared to be Penelope and some other people in black hooded capes whispering to each other in some room that seemed to be detached from any building, so it's like a room without a building. And that seems like a paradox, but it's actually, paradoxically, the paradox can be reconciled somehow, but it's a room without a building, a room that's not attached to any building, and a room that exists outside of the universe, perhaps. That's all I saw, too. Do you want to go back to my condominium? Breakfast more William Shakespeare? Like, sure. Mike and Elena went back to Mike's condominium. Breakfast more William Shakespeare. Like, Mike and Elena got up the next morning, went to Pancakes by the Bay for breakfast and coffee. They got their usual booth by the window. Penelope took their order. What'll it be this morning? Give me the Bayside griddle cakes and a cup of mod morning coffee. And for you, Elena? Give me the Bayside griddle cakes and a cup of mod morning coffee. Coming right up. Oh, I just wanted to let you people know. My movie about the murder is in its final stages of production. It's going to be released later next year. That's terrific, Penelope. Do you have a title for it? Yes, I do. It's called Murder for Breakfast. I like the title. Murder for Breakfast. It's the killer's point of view. What's it going to be for breakfast? Murder. Very Hitchcockian. Exactly. We could sort through the evidence contained in the movie and solve the murder. It appears from evidence that I have gathered that perhaps the murderer has a nice big breakfast here at Pancakes by the Bay before, or had a nice big breakfast here at Pancakes by the Bay before he or she committed the murder. Yeah. And then just threw the dead body into the van. Do you think that the murderer might have left a nice tip? Yeah. Murderers are known to be good tippers with a charming and benevolent side to them. Penelope? This brings something else to the fore. I happen to know that lately there have been a few other murders committed outside of Pancakes by the Bay in broad daylight. It's the same turn of events. The murderer eats breakfast at the place. Damn it. Okay. Is charming and leaves a generous tip, and then throws a dead body into a van. Maybe it's a serial killer who kills people at different places, at different breakfast places across America after a nice breakfast. Maybe. Come see my movie when it comes out. Hopefully we can solve it. Hopefully you can solve it, sure. Michael and I went back to Mike's condominium that evening to have a few beers and talk. They were sitting on Mike's couch looking out at the stunning view of the moon being reflected by the water of the Pacific Ocean on that warm, breezy evening in June. Lovers were frolicking beneath the Golden Gate Bridge and seemed to be in such a state of transcended love that they were detached from earthly pain and relegated to a realm of sheer pleasures of the soul that can only be felt in that transcended realm. So, we have an interesting situation. Yes, indeed, we do. We have pretty good evidence to connect Penelope to the very murder that she is trying to supposedly get solved by releasing a movie about it that provides evidence for the viewers so that they can try to solve it. The irony is delicious. Maybe someday we'll see the movie and find evidence that Penelope committed the murder. In it. That'd be intriguing. Do you want to practice more William Shakespeare? Sure. Michael and I practice more William Shakespeare. Michael and I get up the next morning and with the Pancakes by the Bay for breakfast. When they get inside, they find that the place has been somehow transformed to the diner in the original Reality Bites, where Lelena asks Troy if he could define irony. To which Troy responds, irony is when the actual meaning is the complete opposite of the literal meaning. Got a nice. I'm so happy that you listened to my performance, Rick, and I hope you join me next time. For next week, I was planning on doing a Wednesday morning music performance and a Thursday night acting performance. So if you want to join me for that, be happy if you would. But thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Troy and Lelena are sitting in the bar talking and laughing. Mike walks up to them. What's going on here? What do you mean? I mean, when I walked in here, I was expecting this to be Pancakes by the Bay. This is the diner from the original Reality Bites. Yeah, what else would it be? Winona and I are filming the scene in the diner for Reality Bites. You dig? Do you mean Lelena? No, I mean Winona. That's the character she portrays, Lelena Pierce. So I am speaking to Ethan Hawke in between takes, preparing for his next scene as Troy Dyer. Yeah, exactly. That's incorrect. You are Troy Dyer. And this is the realm where Reality Bites takes place, which has somehow intermingled itself with the realm where Reality Bites 2 takes place. No, I disagree. This is reality, and I am Ethan Hawke, in between takes, getting ready for the next scene we are filming for Reality Bites. No, Ethan, that's incorrect. You'll find out. I disagree. Disagree if you want. You'll find out. I did notice that when you look outside, it looks different out there. Yeah, it does. That's because when you're looking outside, you're seeing the outside of Pancakes by the Bay. In San Francisco in Reality Bites 2. The inside of the diner from Reality Bites, not Reality Bites 2, but Reality Bites, has mysteriously been juxtaposed with the outside of Pancakes by the Bay from Reality Bites 2. When I walked in Pancakes by the Bay from Reality Bites 2, I found myself in the diner from Reality Bites. Interesting. Now that we are talking about this situation, I saw something happen outside that I would like to tell you about. What was it? Do you want to hear this? I saw a grisly murder take place out there. Describe it for me. Okay. A woman who looked like a waitress stabbed a man to death in broad daylight and dumped him in a van and then proceeded to drive off into the San Francisco morning. You said it looked like a woman who... You said it was a woman who looked like a waitress? Yeah. That might have been Penelope. Penelope? Who's that? That's the waitress from Pancakes by the Bay. In Reality Bites 2. So this would be if, like, Troy Dyer from the original Reality Bites solved the murder from Reality Bites 2. You may have helped solve a murder mystery, Troy. Fabulous. Lelena from Reality Bites 2 walks up to them. I was just sitting at the bar having breakfast and coffee with my own character from the original Reality Bites and overheard your conversation. It sounds like Troy from the original Reality Bites may have solved our murder mystery. Yeah. It does appear that he may have solved it. Would you like to go back to my condominium and practice some more William Shakespeare dialogue? Sure. Mike and Melina went back to Mike's condominium to practice some more William Shakespeare dialogue. Here's an excerpt from it. Okay. Romeo and Juliet, Act 2, Scene 2, Capulet's Orchard. Enter Romeo. He jests at scars that never felt the wound. Enter Juliet above the window. But soft! What light through yonder window breaks is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief, that thou, her maid, art more fair than she. Be not her maid, since she is envious. Her vestal livery is but sick and green, and none but fools do wear it. Cast it off! It is my lady. Oh, it is my love. Oh, that she knew she were. She speaks, yet she says nothing. Her eye discourses, I will answer it. I am too bold. 'Tis not to me she speaks. Two of the fairest stars in all the heavens, having some business there, do entreat her eyes till they twinkle in their spheres till they return. What if her eyes were there, they in her head? The brightness of her cheek would shame those stars as daylight doth the lamp. Would through the airy regions stream so bright that birds would sing and think it were not night. Still, she leans her cheek upon her hand. Oh, that it were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek. I mean, she speaks. Well, speak again, bright angel, for thou art as glorious to this night being over my head as is a winged messenger of heaven under the white upturned wondering eyes of mortals that fall back to gaze at him when he bestrides the lazy pacing clouds and sails upon the bosom of the air. Lady, by yonder blessed moon that tips with silver all those fruit treetops, I swear. Oh, swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon that monthly changes in her circled orb, lest that thy love prove likewise variable. What shall I swear by? Do not swear at all. Or, if thou wilt, swear by thy gracious self, which is the god of my idolatry, and I'll believe thee. Meyer said, well, do not swear. Although I join thee, I have no joy in this contract tonight. It is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden, too like the lightning which thus ceased to be, ere one can say it lightens, sweet good night. This bud of love by summer's ripening breath might prove a beauteous flower when next we meet. Good night, that is sweet repose, and rest come to my heart as I with them. Oh, wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied? What satisfaction canst thou have tonight? The exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine. I gave thee mine before thou didst request it. What it were to give again? Wouldst thou withdraw it? For what purpose, love? But to be frank, I'd give it thee again. And yet, I wish for the thing I have. My bounty is as boundless as the sea. My love is deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite. I hear some noise within. Dear love, adieu. Anon, good nurse, sweet Monte, be true. Stay but a little, I will come again. Oh, blessed, blessed night. Being a night, all this is but a dream, too flattering, sweet to be substantial. 3 words, dear Romeo, and good night indeed. If that thy bent of love be honorable, thy purpose marriage, send me word tomorrow. By one that I'll procure to come to thee, where and what time thou wilt perform the rite, 1,000 times good night. 1,000 times the worse. To want thy light, love goes towards love, a school goes from the books, but love from love, a school goes to the books. The looks are love from the books. Hissed Romeo, provoking his voice to lure this tassel, gentle begging on Bondage's horse, and may not speak aloud, else would I. Sweet, so would I. Yet I should kill thee with much cherishing. Good night, good night. Parting such sweet sorrow. Then I shall say good night till it be morrow. Sleep, dwell upon thine eyes, peace in thy breast. Would I were sleep and peace, so sweet the rest. Hence I will go to my ghostly father's cell, his help to crave and my dear hap to tell. If I might trust the flattering truth of sleep, my dreams presage some joyful news at hand. That's deep. What he's saying is that he's having a precognitive dream. My dreams presage some joyful news. And so people, even back in the time of Shakespeare, believed in psychic abilities. My bosom's lord sits lightly in his throne. And all this day, an unaccustomed spirit lifts me above the ground with cheerful thoughts. I dreamt my lady came and found me dead. Strange dream. That gives a dead man leave to think, and breathes such life with kisses in my lips that I revived. It was an emperor. So he had a dream. Romeo had a dream that he died and came back to life as an emperor after being kissed on the lips by Juliet. That's a beautiful dream. Abi, how sweet is love itself possessed? When but love's shadows are so rich in joy. Oh wow, is that deep? Just think about that. Think about like a real deep love that you could have with a woman. If you had like a real deep, what Shakespeare is saying is that like you have like a real deep love with a woman, and what he's saying is that like a sweet, but a sweet, how sweet is love that's possessed, like a real deep love compared to just an ordinary love that's just like kind of a somewhere between like and love, but like a not like a real deep, profound love, just kind of like a oh, getting along, just getting along pretty good, but not like really deeply in love. That would be love's shadow, but just that's love shadows when you're not deeply in love, when it's not like just this, when you're so like smitten with a person, but when you are really smitten with a person, it's like love itself possessed. Okay. Enter Balthazar, Romeo's man. News from Verona. How now, Balthazar? Dost thou now bring me letters from the friar? How doth my lady? Is my father well? How fares Juliet? That I ask again, for nothing can be ill if she be well. Then she is well, and nothing can be ill. Her body sleeps in Capel's monument, and her immortal part with angels lives. I saw her laid low in her kindred's vault. And presently took post to tell it to you. Oh, pardon me for bringing these ill news, since you did leave it for my office, sir. Is it e'en so? Then I define you, stars. Thou knowest my lodging. Get me ink and a paper, and hire post horses. I will hence tonight. Tush, thou art deceived. Leave me, and do the thing I bid thee do. Hast thou no letters to me from the friar? No, my good lord, no matter, get thee gone, and hire those horses. I'll be with thee straight. Well, Juliet, I will lie with thee tonight. Let's see for means. Oh, mischief, thou art swift to enter in the thoughts of desperate men. I do remember an apothecary, and hereabouts dwells, which I noted, in tattered weeds, with overwhelming brows, culling of simples, meager were his looks, sharp misery had worn him to the bones. God, the writing is so fucking good. William Shakespeare is not overrated. There's no way he can possibly be overrated. If anything, he'd be underrated. I mean, this was like one of the best writers of all time, actually, William Shakespeare. Okay. And his needy shop of tortoise hung, an alligator stuffed in other skins, of ill-shaped fishes, and about his shelves, a beggarly account of empty boxes, green earthen pots, bladders, and musty seeds, remnants of pack thread, and old cakes of roses. It's almost fun just to read the words. It's like they actually have people speak to each other in those times. They actually spoke to each other. Can you imagine having to be charged can you imagine being charged with having to speak to each other in poetic phrases every time you spoke to, like, you couldn't just speak to each other like in ordinary boobish like jargon and like you couldn't even like in today's society, people just like speak to each other in boobish drivel and nonsense and innuendos and crap. Back in Shakespeare's day, you had to speak to each other in poetic sentences and phrases, and if you didn't, you'd probably be hung. You had to speak to each other in poetic phrases. That's how it worked in Shakespeare's day. Okay. Anyways, okay. Who calls so loud? Come hither, man. I see that thou art poor. Hold, there's 40 ducats. Let me have a dram of poison, such soon spending gear as will disperse itself through all the veins. that the life-weary taker may fall dead, and that the trunk may be discharged of breath as violently as hasty powder fired doth hurry from the fatal cannon's womb. Such mortal drugs I have, but Mantua's law is death to any he that utters them. Art thou so bare and full of wretchedness, and fearest to die? Famine is in thy cheeks. Need and oppression starveth in thy eyes. Contempt and beggary hangs upon thy back. The world is not thy friend, nor the world's law. The world affords no law to make thee rich. Then be not poor, but break it and take this. My poverty, but not my will, consents. I pay thy poverty and not thy will. Put this in thy any liquid thing you will, and drink it off. And if you had the strength of 20 men, he would dispatch you straight. There's thy gold. Where's poison to men's souls, doing more murder in this loathsome world than these poor compounds that thou mayest not sell? It was a loathsome world back then, and it still is. I sell thee poison, thou hast sold me none. Farewell, buy food, and get thyself in flesh. Come, cordial, not poison, go with me to Juliet's grave, for there must I use thee. Friar Lawrence's cell. Enter Friar John. I'm going to skip to scene. Wait a minute. Scene 3. It's kind of nice to do some fresh dialogue. Wait a minute. Let's see. Sweet flower, with flowers thy bridal bed I strew. Oh, woe, thy canopy is dust and stones, which with sweet water nightly I will do. Or wanting that, with tears distilled by moans, the obsequies that I for thee will keep, nightly shall to strew thy grave and weep. The boy gives warning something doth approach. What cursed foot wanders this way tonight, to cross my obsequies and my true love's right? What with a torch? Muffle me night a while. And a Romeo and Balthazar above with a torch, a mattock and a crow of iron. Give me that mattock and the wrenching iron. Hold, take this letter early in the morning. See thou deliver it to my father. Give me the light. Upon thy life I charge thee. Whatever thou hearest or seest, stand all aloof. And do not interrupt me in my course of this death. In my course, why I descend upon this bed of death is partly to behold my lady's face, but chiefly to take the lens from her dead finger, a precious ring, a ring that I must use in dear employment. Therefore hence be gone. But if thou shalt us return to prying what our father shall intend to do, by heaven, I will tear thee joint by joint, and strew this hungry churchyard with thy limbs. The time and my intents are savage wild, more fierce and more inexorable than empty tigers or the roaring sea. I'm reading Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet, and this is within my Reality Bites 2 script. Juxtapose. Okay. I'll be gone, sir, and not trouble ye. So shalt thou show me friendship, take thou said. Live and be prosperous, and farewell, good fellow. For all the same, how they remember. Thou detestable maw, thou womb of death, gorged with the dearest morsel of the earth, thus I enforce thy right and jaws to open, and in despite I'll cram thee with more food. This letter doth make good the words, the course of love, the tidings of her death. And here he writes that he did buy a poison of a poor apothecary, and therewithal came to this ball to die and lie with Juliet. Where be these enemies? Capulet, Monte. See what a scourge is laid upon your hate? That heaven finds means to kill your joys with love. And I, for winking at your discords too, have lost a brace of kinsmen. All are punished. Oh, brother Monte, give me thy hand. This is my daughter's jointure, for no more can I demand, but I can give thee more. For I will raise her statue in pure gold. That whiles Verona by that name is known, there shall no figure at such rate be set as that of true and faithful Juliet. As rich shall Romeo by his lady's lie, pour sacrifices of our enmity. A gloaming peace this morning with it brings. The sun for sorrow will not show his head. Go hence and have more talk of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned, some punished. For never was a story of more woe than this, of Juliet and a Romeo.